G'day, you big bloody beautiful bastards. Here's me dumb fucking head. Oi, we need to have a chat. There's been a theory circulating on the internet for some time that Australia does not exist. And I personally am fucking fed up with this theory. It keeps recirculating, it keeps getting traction, it keeps getting engagement. And enough is enough. Australia does exist, and I'm from Australia. Frankly, I've started to get offended. I know it's uncool to be offended, and offended people get picked on, but I am fucking hands down offended. Here's one of the first posts that I've seen on this issue. Flat Earth believers, have you ever been to Australia? Australia is not real. It's a hoax made for us to believe that Britain moved over their criminals to some place. Not everyone who came to Australia was a criminal. Grandma's dad, William, was a fucking farmer. Anyway, that's a separate story. In reality, all these criminals were loaded off the ships into the waters, drowning before they could ever see land. It's a cover-up for one of the greatest mass murders in history, made by one of the most prominent empires. Australia does not exist. All things you call proof are actually well-fabricated lies and documents made by the leading governments of the world. Your Australian friends, they're all actors and computer-generated personas, part of the plot to trick the world. I am not part of a plot to trick the world. I'm not a computer-generated persona. I'm real. I'm a fucking tangible, real human being. And this is just, it is offensive. Look at this. Look at this other post. Tag an idiot mate who thinks Australia is real. That's hurtful. This one really stings. Vegemite with a big red cross over it, like Vegemite is made up. That is like just stabbing an Australian in the heart, right in the aorta. It's like digging in to me pulmonary vein and just like it's fucked. It's bullshit. And finally, there's people saying that Post Malone here is not actually patting a kangaroo. But look at his face. There's uncertainty, trepidation. That is the face of a cautious foreigner who's like, ugh, will this creature kick me in the balls if I get too close? I think it's real, definitely. Anyway, look, to debunk all of these shitty ass memes that are flooding Facebook, I would like to go through some genuine Australian archival footage that proves we exist down here. So buckle up. Computer-generated personas, part of the plot to trick the world. This footage comes from 2010. It was a story on a current affair, and it's about a bloke called Ray Graham, fucking Rabid Ray, and he's sick of disobedient dogs in his neighbourhood. Have a listen. Look at this.
I came out into the front yard, and the dogs were across the road, and as soon as they saw me, they came bounding over. And I just made it into the front door in time.
Fuck yes, Ray. That is a spot-on impersonation of a fuckhead dog. If he was an actor or a computer-generated persona, he'd be doing a shit impersonation of a dog. It would be like, and they came bounding over, woof, woof. But look at the passion. No way. That is not real. That is a passionate impersonation of a Rottweiler or a pit bull or some fuckhead dog. And look at his wife. She's like, oh no, Ray's doing his impersonation of the dogs again. That is a human response. I mean, she's a bit deadpan. You could say she's a robot, but there are some intricacies in her reaction that are very human. So absolutely, this is a real Australian story, and it's a cracker. Look at the passion! A spot-on impersonation of a fuckhead dog. Here we have Australian surfer Mick Fanning, and there's a shark, you can see it, and Mick's reaction is real. He's shitting his wetsuit, he's like, fuck, 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 gotta get out of here. And not only did old Mick get away from this buffhead shark, he also managed to punch it, which is entirely a logical, rational reaction from a human being who's being attacked and is in danger, like from a shark. You would punch it. You would. Think about it. You would. Yeah, so he's real. This whole situation is real. And here he is being interviewed as well.
Did you get a couple punches in?
I punched it in the back.
What incentive would he have to lie? He's a real athlete, he's a real surfer, and Mick had to travel for this competition. This is in South Africa. So how do Australians get about? He's got a passport, he's got ID. You're telling me the government fabricated all of those fucking documents? He's probably got a Blockbuster video card from the 90s. What sick government would fabricate Blockbuster video cards from the 90s? We travel, we go out into the world. Mick got attacked by a shark and he got away. That's a true blue fucking fair dinkum Australian story. Yeah, nah, it's me again, just letting you legends know that today's video is sponsored by Vikings War of Clans. This is a mobile game with some sweet graphics. It reminds me of the top strategy and RPG games of the 90s. You can choose your own play style, which involves building an impregnable city, using your diplomacy skills to rule the world, or you can just gather your friends, build a huge army, and destroy wankers. By installing the game, you are helping me with the sustainability of me channel, so click the shit out of the link in the post description and go get Vikings now. You'll also get 200 gold and a protection shield for free, so fucking go, do it. Cheers. Okay, so this next piece of Australian archival footage is called the Ozziest interview ever on the YouTube, and I believe it. Have a watch.
Oh, well, it's really quite funny. I was in bed sleeping at 2 o'clock this morning. My wife comes in and says, oh, the shop's been, someone ran into the shop. And I said, oh, what? So I jumped out of bed and all I had was my undies on, and I've walked out the front and I've seen the car smashed and I've seen the bloke.
Look at this, look at that, look at that, look at that. I'm gonna pause it on this frame. All of this is damage that's been done to a fish and chip shop. You're telling me if Australia doesn't exist, that this is a fake set with art department and production design, and this is a script. It's being shot at in Area 51 somewhere. Get fucked.
And so I've walked outside and I said, oh, what are you doing, mate? Like, you can't be leaving the scene. And he goes, don't be a hero, mate. And I said, I'm not trying to be a hero, but the police are coming. And he just decided he'd scoot up the road, and I just said, nah, it's not going on like that, mate. So I jumped in my car and I started chasing him up the road, and then he went down a side street, and then the police were coming.
No way, there's just too many people involved. Daniel the hero, the guy who hit the shop in his car, the coppers, the reporter. You're telling me they're all actors pretending to be Australians? No way. This man saw his favourite fish and chip shop get vandalised, get hit by a car, and he fucking followed up. He was like, no way, not in my community. That's where I get my crab sticks from. That's where I get my scallops and me pineapple fritters and me chips and me snapper, and I'm not gonna just let you hit the fish and chip shop and get away with it.
But mate, all I had was me jocks on. I was chasing him up the street, and I'm just like, mate, like...
Because you told me that this is your mate's shop, yeah, and you didn't want him to get away.
Yeah, no, well, me mate's mum's had this shop for like 40 odd years.
Who would pretend to cook delicious fish and chips for 40 years?
Now, Daniel, you managed to put some pants on in the meantime.
Yeah, mate.
That's good to hear. Do you feel like a hero?
Not really. It's just something you got to do for the community, mate. It's like, you look after your mates, and your mates will always look after you.
It's just something you gotta do for the community. What a humble, modest, top fucking wanker. That is sensational. Morals, ethics, values, those are human behaviours. He is conscientious. And if you're conscientious, you're conscious. If you're conscious, you exist. Philosophy, science 101, motherfuckers.
And I said, oh, what are you doing, mate? Like, you can't be leaving the scene.
If you're conscious, you exist. I've got one more that I'm going to pull from the archives. We're going to go back in time a while here, over a decade. This is a story about the best street party ever that was thrown in Australia. It's about teenagers. And no way can teenagers be made up. They're too fucking weird.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't really.
Did your parents say you could have a party?
No.
Short, terse answers. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't want to be there. That is a real teenager.
Why don't you take this opportunity now to apologise to your parents and to your neighbours who have said today that they were frightened?
Well, I've already offered to say sorry to them and stuff when I see them, so I will say sorry now for everything that happened.
Why don't you take your glasses off so we can see you? and then apologise to your neighbours for frightening them?
Nah, I'll leave these on. Nah, I like them.
Rebellious. Classic teenage trait.
You put out the invitation, you started it. Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologise to everybody that you frightened, to the police who were forced to retreat and whose cars have been damaged, and to the community who've had to pay for this? Take off your glasses and apologise to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
No acting or improvisation is this good. If they were actors, the rule of improvisation is you say yes and, you're agreeable. But he's like, nah, fuck you. Nah, I mean, that would just be a terror. Maybe he was fired. If Australia doesn't exist, they probably tried to fire this kid. But he's still around. He's done interviews since this. So no way is this fucking acting or improvisation. This is a real, rebellious, stubborn teenager digging his heels in.
Why not?
Because they're famous.
Because your glasses are famous.
Yeah,
Why are your glasses famous?
I know. Everyone likes them, so I know. I'm not taking them off.
You're pretty happy with the way you look and the attitude you've got, are you?
She's just making it worse. It is brilliant.
Yeah, my parents aren't, but I am.
Okay, Corey, we've got to wrap this up, but what would you say to other kids who were thinking of partying when their parents are out of town?
Get me to do it for you.
Get you to do it for you. Not don't do it.
Nah, get me to do it for you. Best party ever so far. That's what everyone's been saying, so...
Well, we've got to go, but I suggest you go away and take a good long hard look at yourself.
I have. Everyone has. They love it.
No, you can't take Corey away from us. You just can't. He's real. He embodies all of that glorious teenage behaviour. Just, fuck you. I don't need to give you a proper fleshed out answer. My glasses are famous. And they're awesome, lady. And you know what? Stop patronising me. Stop condescending me. You know, you can't just be a stubborn cockhead when you're an adult. But you can cling on to these memories of these teenagers who were able to do it. Who were just like, I've apologised. I'll work it out with my parents. Don't tell me to take off my fucking sunglasses. I'm not apologising to Australia. It's good. It is good. So just don't take Corey away from us, all right? Don't take any of them.
I punched it in the back.
It's just something you got to do for the community, mate.
No.
This concludes my video about Australia existing. You can make up your own mind. In the end, maybe you believe these theories, that Australia's too weird and it doesn't exist. Whatever. Or maybe I've solidified in your mind that Australia definitely exists. We're just a little bit fucking strange. Whatever your opinion is, it's fine. It's just I've personally had enough with the theory. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and have a good one. See ya.